And we are here. What's up, everybody? Or expert, hello. Today, if you didn't see the community post, I asked a question as to who I should do for the next tier list video. It was between Diane, Sigurd, Gother, the festival Gother, or Lolly Merlin. And by a like 2% margin, Diane's won. So yeah, today we're going to be doing the two Dianes, being Summer Diane and Ragnarok Diane. Yeah, their outfits will look a little similar, but it's okay. I just got a lot of outfits for them. Leave me alone. But yeah, we're going to be running these two through the tier list gauntlet, showcasing them through various things and just explaining my thoughts on these characters in various different content. And then we're going to go ahead and slap them on the tier list. Last one I did was Bond. He's like A tier. I know people were a little bit annoyed with that, but listen, bro. Bond's only good in PvP, alright? But that's besides the point. We're here for the two DNs. One being good in PvP and the other one being good in, like, only Deathmatch. But it's alright. We'll figure something out. But we'll still test them both fairly, take them through the ringer, and see what happens. So, let's go ahead and get this started. We're gonna roll to 400 subs. Let's like and subscribe. We're about to go crazy with the two DNs. So, let's go ahead and break them down. So, starting with Summer Diane's breakdown, we're gonna go ahead and just go through it, right? Her kit is very straightforward, nothing crazy. So her first attack will be in single target amplify, does pretty good damage when her passive is active, which we'll get to in a second. Her second card is an AoE power strike, pretty good, but the multipliers are kind of like Lester's, but it's still a pretty solid card nonetheless. Her ultimate is the same as Jormungandr's, increase all allies damage dealt by 7%. Well, at max is like 40%, I think, or 30 at 6/6, but I have her 1/6. Increase their damage dealt for 2 turns, and then she has an AoE attack, which is cool. I think Jormungandr's is a single target, but it serves the same purpose, really. And now her passive. Increase allies' skill ranks at the start of battle if everyone is of different race. Increases their base stats by 30% and applies debuff immunity for 3 turns. Does not include PvP. It only works in Deathmatch. You can see up here, yeah, active only in Deathmatch. So it doesn't work in Demonic Beast battle or anything like that. Strictly death matches. So we'll get into that later. And then their holy relics, as the two Ragnarok and Summer, they both share the same holy relic, which is why they get the dual video. It's in PvP. Ragnarok allies and heroes take damage. Oh fucking Christ! Ragnarok allies and their heroes' damage taken from skills during the enemy turn will not exceed 50% of their max HP. Increase attack rate stats by 1% for every 6 of remaining HP when using skills. Didn't know that part, actually. I didn't read that far. That's interesting. But yeah, basically, it gives your Ragnarok team damage cap. Like, that's pretty much how that goes. And now, when we talk about Ragnarok Diane, that was Summer Diane we were just talking about. Ragnarok Diane has, easy cards, I guess. She has an ult filled card, single target, a attack disable card, single target, same ultimate, obviously. She's 5/6, unfortunately. So yeah, it is like 40% at 6/6. And then her passive only works in PvP, unlike the other one. In PvP, removes up to 3 buffs or debuffs on the enemy when she attacks, and increases damage dealt by 40% for each buff or debuff removed. So it's a really good passive on paper, but sometimes it can cut you, which we will probably head into when we play this one PvP match with our character. And her passive, or her holy relic, is the same again. They share the same holy relic, which is why they have the same video. And that's pretty much it in terms of the kits. As you can see, the Ragnarok Diane is more suited for PvP, and the Summer Diane is more suited for Deathmatch. But, again, fair trials. So we're about to run through all content and break down these characters on a fundamental level, alright? So, let's go ahead and do that. Alright, so, funnily enough, right, Summer Diane, even though she's not PvP orientated, she has a Power Strike, and, most of all, an Amplify card. So, technically, you can still use Summer Diane on the Ragnarok Diane team. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to just have her instead, because she actually benefits from the buffs with her Amplify card. Unlike the Ragnarok Diane, she doesn't have an Amplify card. She just gets the attack stats, which is fine. It's always fine. But now, Summer Diane should technically hit harder than Ragnarok Diane. Like, in the sense of the enemies don't have any buffs or debuffs. So, this should honestly work way better than some Ragnarok Diane, but, Brunhild won't hit as hard, but that's not the point. We're here for Diane. So, yeah, this is going to be a team we're running for both Dianes, by the way. So we're going to play one game. We're not here to win. We're just here to see how much damage and what's she gonna look like in PvP. So let's just go ahead, run the same team for both DIANES, and we're just gonna hop in. We'll probably play one match, maybe two, depending on the results or how fast we can do the results. So let's go ahead and hop in. We got ourselves a Bond team. Kind of figured. I saw this Holy Relic before we loaded in. I have way more CC than you. Jesus. Alright, so we're gonna go for the... Let's go for the Reinhardt. See what happens. How much health does Reinhardt actually have? Turn on 203? Okay. Let's do the weak point AoE. Then try to kill with Diana. See if this is even possible. Oh. Could have killed Arthur easily. Easily. Alright, amplify. Let's see the damage. Ooh. 95k, that's not bad. Can she kill with the power strike though? Wow. 116 with the power strike. Interesting. Now, we got the meta nonsense character out of the way, so technically I already won, because I'm genuinely not scared of Bond. Arthur will be dead next turn, especially with another weak point AoE like this. And Twigo doesn't even have Holy Relic, so this is actually an easy dub. Ults don't matter to me personally. That's a lot of damage, but I got health cap, so it really doesn't help. So let me just double check. Do you have Tarmio Link? You do. Okay. You have 74,000 HP. I think I can kill with Brunhild. So let's AoE. AoE with her again. Actually, no. Let's AoE. I lied again. Let's extort AoE and then AoE with Diane. Does it give me a little extra damage on the weak point side of things? Beautiful. Didn't kill Twigo, unfortunate. But this might. Bond alive. That's unfortunate. I mean, honestly, bro, Summer Diane's not bad on this team. In place of Ragnarok Diane. Yeah, Brunhild's losing out on damage, but Diane can actually do damage since he's getting amplified buffs. Like, I'm not mad at this. Interesting. Can we kill? Can we get the windscreen? No, we don't have any cards for her. That's annoying. I guess we're just gonna have to kill with someone else. I think the single target's kill, but you know, weak point always wipes. So. Unfortunate. I wanted the Diane screen. To be honest though, that was a very good showcase. For Diane specifically, damn, she kind of popped off. I would be tempted to do another one, but since it was just such a easy scene game, anyone with eyes can see that Summer Diane's actually not that bad. There's no point in me doing another match. So let's just go ahead and switch over to Ragnarok Diane and hop into the next match. Alright, switching over to the actual Ragnarok Diane. Let's see how she fares for Demon Team. Alright, so she's attack advantage against Esteros, so technically I can go for him. I just gotta make sure I remove the buffs after I use my weak point on Brunhild. Which one has a better multiplier? 220, 240? Okay. Let's do Sigurd into the Diane. Just in case Tarmio Link exists somewhere, which it doesn't. But this should definitely kill. And then she removes the buffs, and on top of that gets extra damage in. She's not hitting as hard as the Amplify though. But it still does the job, you know? Ragnarok Bond in the back, and he forfeit. Alright, let's go get another match. He was like, well, I don't want to be here anymore, even though he still had Trainer Melly. A pretty prominent character, but alright, let's go get another match. Got ourselves a interesting Escanor, okay. I'll CC them too, fine, that's fine. I'll go for the blue unit again, just because, but it won't hurt him that much, that's the problem. Tarmio Link on Diane, I'm assuming? No, blue Tarmio, that's unfortunate. Okay, well, we got this hand, so honestly, do this. Let's go for the melee. Actually, yeah, let's go for the Escanor. He can hurt. I think melee would be a bigger hit. So let's do this, and then this. Let's just do the Diane follow-ups. Okay, melee's dead. Yeah, you can definitely tell the difference when you remove buffs and debuffs compared to when you don't. She basically hit for double the amount, which in turn would technically be 80, so I guess it makes sense. It kind of adds up. And on top of that, there was a level 2 versus a level 1. So I think I still got this one in the bag, technically. I can't remove stances. If she could remove stances with her passive, that would have been insane. Since that's not a thing, I had to fight through the end. We should have killed her when we had the chance, but it's fine. We can still pretty much come out on top of this one. If we can kill Diane this turn, that'd be great. Let's do Sigurd, and actually no. Let's play into this, right? We're gonna extort, give her an extra debuff, do this, and then use those 3 debuffs to basically one-shot with Diane. Let's play into it, see what happens. So that's 3 debuffs, so that's 120% more damage she can do. Is that enough to kill? No, it is not. That was unfortunate, sad damage. Wow. Now his DN is really cracked out right now. If she has an attack card, I'm screwed. I put a little too much faith into DN right there. Yeah, he's going for my DN. Makes sense. Perfect sense. That's probably killing him. Yeah. DN is a little too strong right now. I did way too much damage to her in general. I think we should be fine, maybe? I still need to just get through the end, unfortunately. So let's AoE, extort, AoE, and hopefully this kills the DN. Okay, I should kill with Sigurd, right? Cool. Escanor will hurt, especially with type advantage. That might wipe my team, but it's whatever. I'll be okay. I'm a big boy, maybe, possibly. Probably not. Come on, man. You gotta survive it. Okay, yeah, that's death. Don't want to target Brent Hill, please? And that's game. Alright, we're gonna go home now. We should have killed the DM when we had the chance. Instead we went for melee and it cost us the game. Alright, well... I think we got a good little premise for where DN should sit, personally. So let's go ahead and get back to the drawing board. Okay, so now the PvP's out of the way, let's talk about it. So, when I think about how these characters function in PvP, you would think that Ragnarok Diane is better, but in reality, her passive more or less will cuck you sometimes if you definitely don't get the kill after removing the debuffs. So if like you remove the debuff, you don't kill, now your enemy is literally just like, well, I'm free now. I don't have any like defense restrictions, attack restrictions, or the extort in terms of me doing a Sigurd strat. And it does kind of hurt sometimes. Granted, it's not that big of a difference, but it definitely is enough to kill, obviously, right? So, I can say, right, the Brunhild team with the Relic is a meta team. As a team, they're meta. But Diane on the team is actually probably the weak link in both circumstances. But there is a little bit of a lie in there, so let me just break it down real quick, right? Talk about Summer Diane first, since she's already on the screen, right? Summer Diane is low-key better than Ragnarok Diane for the Diane part of the Brunhild team. For the Brunhild team, Ragnarok Diane is obviously better. She's giving Brunhild more stats to one-shot, but she's not good in terms of her kit. Her cards aren't really doing anything. But since Sigurd's giving buffs, the Amplify card that she has hits way harder than the remove debuff card that Ragnarok, or the remove debuff passive that Ragnarok Diane has at the first turn, right? So it's just not as good. And in general, both Dianes aren't that good at all in PvP. But, like Summer Diane specifically, I feel like she's better than Ragnarok Diane, personally. So this might be a biased take, unironically. But really, turn 1, she hits way harder than Ragnarok Diane. That might be the level 100 talking, but I highly doubt it, because she was hitting way higher numbers than level 90 level 2s. So, for real, Summer Diane is getting 2 points. She's not meta, But her team is meta. She's not meta though, but she's good. And then let's go to Ragnarok Diane, right? Ragnarok Diane, straight up, honestly, I feel like she's worse than Summer Diane. Like, if you gave, like, that's why, like, Summer Diane with the relic of Ragnarok things is really good, but Summer Diane excludes that part of the passive, so she can still take her normal damage, which, yeah, I get it. It's a double-edged sword when you're using on Summer Diane, but Summer Diane just has better cards. Like, the Power Strike is way better than just a non-effect card that Ragnarok has. She has 2 cards with no effects at rank 1. Diane has an Amplify and a Power Strike rank 1. She's just infinitely better in that realm. So I can give Ragnarok Diane 1 point. She's mid as a unit, and then Summer Diane can get 2 points just for having better card effects for turn 1 killing. Like, literally, she was able to wipe the Reinhardt off the map with her Amplify. Summer Diane basically killed Melly, hit him for 60k. And the other one hit for, or Summer Diane hit for like 120,000 on a type neutral Reinhardt, and Ragnarok Diane hit for like 60 or 70,000 on Melly, which is technically type neutral, but he also takes 10% less damage, I think. I forgot how that works. I forgot how that works specifically, but something along that line. So I'm gonna give Ragnarok Merlin 1 point and Summer Diane 1 or 2 points, and that's just gonna be that. So now that's out of the way. Let's go talk about Deathmatch. Probably not gonna play any because we already know where they stand, but let's just go talk about it. Okay, so when we talk about Deathmatches, let's just start off with Summer Diane, get her out of the way. She's obviously getting the full points for Deathmatch because she's the relative unit to clear Original Demon until tomorrow, because obviously this video is going out 1 day before the collab, right? And the new free-to-play unit is technically able to do the same thing Summer Diane does. But I think we'll get into that. But it will affect her miscellaneous category, so yeah, we'll get to that when we get there. But yeah, Summer Diane, easy 5 points. There's nothing really to explain. She can literally, she's relative to clear Original Demon. So yeah, easy. Now, let's talk about Ragnarok, right? Don't mind the stats, their gear's not in the right spots, especially Pelennor. She doesn't have any gear anymore. I got rid of it. But, yeah, Ragnarok Diane for Belmoth actually does work. This team does work with this, but she's not doing as much damage as like your Zaratrus's, your Brunhildes, your Rimaru's. But she does 3 turn if you have a solid teammate. So that being said, I can honestly give her 4 points for being able to do Belmoth, actually, because she has 2 close range cards, so you're not getting cucked by RNG in terms of getting a range card all of a sudden. So yeah, I mean, it's straightforward, really. There's not really too much to go on when I say you can beat Original Demon. Oh, I cannot speak today. I'm so sorry. I'm not going into too much detail when I say you can beat Belmoth, but just know it's possible, because I've been doing this all week, actually, just to make sure you can, and you can do it. And I only got 15,000 attack, not even that. And I was able to clear it relatively easy, especially with a Brunhild teammate. I'll do phase 1, they'll do phase 2, and we both just jump phase 3. That was pretty much how most of those runs went. But yeah, 4 points. There's not really nothing special about it, to be honest. It's the same process, just don't be stupid and waste your cards. Now, when we talk about Knighthood, I know, yes, I haven't done my stings yet. This should just reset, leave me alone. I will do this, and I still won't place top placement to even participate because my Knighthood doesn't really do a lot of work. But it's besides the point. The point is, Ragnarok and Summer Diane and Knighthood Boss, it's an easy 0 points. They do nothing. They literally get no scores. They will kill, sure, but you will get literally like 500 points for killing, even on extreme. They don't do anything. So they both respectively get 0 points for Knighthood. Like, it's just that simple. They're not good, they don't get no scoring, and they're not needed for like when a giant challenge comes around. You'll never see them. Now I say this, right? And I'll be very pissed. So let me just look at Hell real fast and see what team is needed for Hell. See, you need that DN. That's the Summer DN. It's fucking... You cannot speak today, bro. I don't understand. Let me breathe. Alright. Como te llamas, or whatever the fuck they be saying. Festival DN is the DN you want to use for this Knighthood. So yeah. Summer DN, Ragnarok DN, 0 points, they're useless. So now, let's talk about Velger and Summer Diane. We'll go with her first, obviously. So, in terms of Velger, it's relatively easy, especially for like most units. When I use the Melee, Magelda, Diane comp, or Freyr, depending on how I want to push it. But for Summer Diane, I used Trader Melee, Magelda, Diane, just because I wanted to, really. And I did it for Ragnarok too, so the teams are the same. And, now she made it to floor 3, like, with relative ease. Her damage was pretty decent. It wasn't like Meliodas levels of damage, so I can't give her the full 5 points for being the hardcore carry. Because sometimes, like, her Power Strike card wouldn't hit that hard, but her Amplified card was really good. It hit numbers. It hit damage cap most of the time. So in reality, I could give her 5 points, but I don't see a team for Bird where she would be the main DPS of the team. Yeah, I get it. She has a Power Strike, so she could technically hit phase 4 of floor 1. But the AoE multiplier is just not that good. So relying on that would be rough. Like, sure, you'll do damage, but you'll need at least 7 Power Strike cards from her to actually do anything crazy. Because she's not hitting damage cap. Unless it's a level 3 Power Strike AoE. And even still, it barely hits damage cap most of the time. So, I'm going to have to give her 4 points for Bird. And, yeah, it's just that simple, really. 4 points. She's not a hard carry, but she can do damage. So, yeah. So, when it comes to Ragnarok Diane and Bird, though, it gets a little annoying using Ragnarok Diane. Her damage isn't as good as Red Diane's or Summer Diane's, due because her passive isn't working in Bird, because her passive is only PvP centered. Granted, Summer Diane's passive doesn't work either, but she doesn't need her passive for her Amplify to do work when Magelda's giving you a lot of buffs. She gives you 5 buffs. So her Amplified card is hitting hard regardless. Her Power Strike is getting buffed regardless. This Diane, on the other hand, she has a fill old gauge card and an attack disable card. The attack disable doesn't do anything for damage, and the fill old gauge is fine. Since I have her 5/6, her ult does hit damage cap every time, and her little buff she gives is really good for the team. But as her own unit, her actual cards don't do as much damage since her passive isn't proccing. So I can give her 3 points for Bird. I couldn't give her 4 because she obviously is getting outshined by Summer Diane in this category, and it just cannot get the same score. It just doesn't make sense. So I'm gonna have to give Ragnarok Diane 3 points for Bird, and it's just gonna have to be left at that, really. So Summer Diane did. What's this man's name? Ike Diane, right? So here's the problem. There's a very small problem, but it's not major. It's not enough to like change my opinion on how she functions, right? So doing Deer with Summer Diane, I'm able to clear it quite easily, and her being the red carry, she does her job very well. Her damage is okay, her ult's pretty good, but here's the problem. Her Amplify isn't going to do as much damage because there is no buffers on my team. I was using Jormungandr for green, red being Summer Merlin, or Summer Diane, Jesus, and blue being Millum, and then I had Trader Melee. Now, I could have changed it up, gave like a Margaret maybe to get a little bit of buffs in there, but, I digress. The point was, the Amplifiers don't really help you that much, but Jormungandr's passive will, and you will always hit stupid numbers because Jormungandr is broken. And since I just got her Holy Relic, she's actually a fucking cheat code and a half, so you're just guaranteed to hit numbers because you're always going to have level 3 cards. So, in reality, sorry if you heard that. In reality, as a red unit, she is doing her job very well due to Jormungandr's passive. So, I can give her 5 points, like, actually, because as a red unit, she's not going to fall off. She has 2 attack cards. She is not suffering from not having an attack card, and so she does her job well as a red unit. So, yeah, like, even though her damage isn't as crazy as Millum's or Melly's, she does more damage than Jormungandr, that's for sure. Jormungandra's damage is mediocre as fuck. So, yeah, we're just going to give her 5 points for Deer, and going to call it there. Now, Ragnarok Diane really follows the same premise as Red Diane or Summer Diane. Like, but the problem with using Ragnarok Diane is that she's green, so you can't run like the melee team since you're gonna have 2 green units on your team. Jormungandr is like a must-have. If you don't have her, you're just not doing it right. You're not good. You're not smart. So having 2 green units is always detrimental. Even if they're good green units, just the overwhelming of RNG there is just not good for your health. So in reality, when I did it, I was getting cucked more or less by RNG more than the actual units themselves. But as a green unit, as Ragnarok Diane with her relic, her passive doesn't work, so her cards are just straight up cards. But Jormungandr's cards are the same. They don't have effects that make her hit harder. So in reality, she hits about the same damage as Jormungandr. So I can't say she's a carry in terms of the green category. And then, like, it's really pretty much it. Like, she doesn't do an insane amount of damage more than Jormungandr. And Jormungandr doesn't hit that hard to begin with. So just having 2 green characters that are A, cucking your RNG, and B, not hitting as hard as you would want them to, it's not that good. So I can, I get it. The point of this video, or the point of this segment, is to determine if she can beat it or not. It's not really much the details. So in harsh reality, yes, she can beat it. But it's just the RNG, man. Deer is way too RNG heavy. And especially when you get to phase 4 or 4-3 and you have to one-shot through the 20% of their max HP, you can't rely on Diane or Jormungandr to do it. So I can't say they're a carry, even though they're green. I'm pretty sure Jormungandr might just be a better unit since she has a healing card, I guess. And then the fucking ults are fine, but if you get the wrong passive, you're just not gonna ult. You're not gonna be able to ult for the last turn. And it's just really straightforward when I say she can get a 4. Yeah, like, she's not doing anything crazy for her team. So yeah, I gotta give her the 4 for Deer. So far, she's literally just 1 point under Summer Diane when I look at it in the long run. But like, it's not my fault. It's just Summer Diane is just that much better. And I mean that much. I mean like a fucking centimeter better than Ragnarok Diane. So yeah, let's go ahead and move over to Wolf. So this one is like a straight up no-brainer. They don't even need segments because they're both performing the exact same way in Wolf. And that being, they can't be stage 1. They can't compete straight up. They just suck. They don't do nothing. The amplifying on Summer Diane is okay, but it's not enough damage to make a difference. The Power Strike AoE is actually decent, but again, she's not hitting hard enough, like in reality, to even be stage 1. Most of the damage for stage 1 is coming from melee 9 times out of 10. And then with Ragnarok Diane, her cards are useless. Straight up useless. Her AoE is fine, I guess, but I broke my pencil. But yeah, it's just not good. So they both get 0 points for Wolf. It's just that easy. Like, there's nothing to even talk about there. They just suck. So let's go on to the miscellaneous. So now we have come to the miscellaneous category. Miscellaneous being, we're going to take these 2 units through 4 different categories and see if they excel in any of them, being farming, Tower of Trials, Final Boss, or being God tier in a specific lane. So to break that down for you, let's start off with Summer Diane. Summer Diane's miscellaneous stuff. So is she good at farming? No. She has 1 AoE Power Strike and that's okay. It kills, I guess, but it's just not as fast. So in reality, no, she's not good at farming. Tower of Trials, she could be somewhere in there. I just don't know which floor specifically, but I can see her being good somewhere in there, so I'll give her a point for that. Final Boss, no, not even close. She sucks. And then being God tier in a specific lane, I would have given her a point for that, but now we have the collab literally tomorrow, or you know, I'm uploading this Monday. I don't know when this is gonna go live. It's gonna be like Monday night maybe, but she's not good at, she's not God tier in a specific lane anymore because now there's another character that does what she does, like pretty much to the T. So she's not the only person good in this lane basically. So yeah, she's only getting 1 point for miscellaneous, being that only point being Tower of Trials, and that's about it. Now we talk about Ragnarok Diane in her miscellaneous category. Let's see. Farming, no, obviously she has 2 single targets, not gonna happen. Tower of Trials, again, I can see her being used in one of the floors, just not crazy, but yeah, I can see that from pretty much every unit, really. So I'll give her 1 point for Tower of Trials. Final Boss, Absolutely not. Her passive doesn't even work, so no. And then being God tier in a specific lane, nope. She doesn't have a lane that she was good in. Because if anything, I would give her being the support for the Brunhild meta team. But I feel that Summer Diane is actually better than her. So yeah, she's only getting 1 point for miscellaneous. And now that all the tallies are done, we were finished tallying up all these characters, so let's go to the tier list. They're going to be very close, and we can already tell where this is leaning towards. Most of this stuff I'm saying is really saying Ragnarok Diane is actually worse than Summer Diane by like a margin. So let's see if the tier list says the same thing. It should. So let's go ahead and hop in and see. So we're here at the tier list. Now I just realized, right? If you saw my community post, I asked who I should make a tier list video on next. It was between the two DIANES, Gother, Sigurd, and Lolly Merlin. I see that now. Lolly Merlin was already on the tier list. So if she would have won, I would have been very upset. Thank God she had no votes. Because I guess they realized, the people realized before me that I already made a Lolly Merlin video. Thank you, fans. Oh my God, that would have been detrimental if she actually won. But besides the point, we're here to see where Summer Diane and Ragnarok Diane plays. So let's go with Ragnarok Diane first. Her kit is pretty good, like unironically, but as a all-around content kit, it's not good for anything but PvP. So throughout this entire process, Ragnarok Diane ended up with a total of 13 points, which puts her in the middle of C tier. So in between Benimaru and Valenti, no. Benimaru had a score of 12, so she actually is the top of C tier. So yeah, that seems about right, I guess. I mean, because this is, again, I gotta specify this every single time I make one of these videos. This is not a PvP centered tier list, right? Why do you think Bond is A tier? If this was PvP centered, Bond would be S or 7 Deadly Sins, Reinhardt would be 7 Deadly Sins, Ragnarok would be at least A or S tier, and then Shuna would be at least B tier. But no, this is just as all-around content, so do not shoot the messenger, alright? This is just my personal takes on all of these units. So yeah, Ragnarok Diane is C tier, being 13 points, 1 point above Benimaru. Now, with Summer Diane, she suffers about the same stuff as she does, but she does it better, and she can handle her own better since her cards are damaging cards. So overall, she ended up with 16 points at the end of this, which puts her, unironically, up between Merlin and Beatrice. So yeah, our Ragnarok Diane ended up in C tier, and Summer Diane ended up in A tier. I mean, it makes sense, to be honest. She just has a better kit. Sure, her passive will carry her, but only in PvP. Outside of that, her damage is dog shit. But Diane, on the other hand, she doesn't need her PvE passive to carry her because she has an Amplify, which you can get from outside sources, and she has a Power Strike, which generally hits pretty hard. So yes, this is our tier list now. Still, no one is 7 Deadly Sins rank. No one's just a god tier unit all around just yet. But I feel like we're gonna get there. I don't know if we're in need of a update video yet, but I might make one. Because I feel like Reinhardt may or may not have pushed himself up to 7 Deadly Sins rank. I don't know yet, but still, we got our top feeders, Reinhardt, Rimuru, and Freyr. Everyone else is below them. So, with that out of the way though, we're done. 33 minutes. We are finally done tier listing the Summer and Ragnarok Diane. So, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, you know, the usual YouTube shit. And comment down below specifically how y'all feel about these placements for the DIANES. A tier for Summer, C tier for Ragnarok. I know people are going to say Ragnarok should be higher, I feel like, because, you know, she gives more damage for the Brunhild team. But genuinely speaking, bro, I think Red Diane might be better on the Ragnarok team than Summer Diane. So, I'm going to low-key make a video on that, using Summer Diane on the Brunhild team for a full video. Because I'm very tempted to see how that's going to play out. So yeah, I guess I will see y'all in the next video, man. And it would probably be a summon video for Shield Hero because they coming out tomorrow. So I will see y'all later. And I hope y'all have a good day and prosper. So yeah, we're done here. Why are you still here? Why are you listening to me? Goodbye.